Hey, this next video I'm going to show you how to solve an quadratic equation by completing the square. You want to just so you know, this is going to be in vertex form. This is vertex form. We talked about it when we were doing transformation of functions early on in the year. So you're just adding another step, and in math, remember, we can rearrange numbers. So if I'm looking at this x squared minus 2x minus 8, I notice that 8 is not a perfect square, like 9 or 16 or 25. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this equation, x squared minus 2x, and I'm going to plus something. So I'm actually going to add a number. And then all I'm going to do here, put that in parentheses, and I'm going to minus 8. But what if you add some kind of number to one side of the equation? Remember, you have to add that same number to the other side. So all I did was rearrange. I scooted this 8 outside the parentheses. I created that blank. The blank is what we just did. We're going to complete the square. So we look at our b, which is 2 in this case, and you divide it by 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1, and then you square it. 1 squared is 1. So you're always going to add, because just always going to add, because 2 negatives make a positive and all that stuff. So always add. So I add 1 to both sides. So I have x squared minus 2x plus 1 minus 8 equals 1. 0 plus 1. The reason you did that is because you want to factor. And you factor by taking the square root of x squared. In other words, if this variable is squared, you're just going to bring one of them down. Then you bring whatever sign is next. In this case, it's a minus. And what is the square root of 1? 1. It's actually half of your b. That number is going to go here, and you square that quantity. Then I have minus 8 equals 1. The last step for vertex form would be to get this 1 to the other side. So x squared minus 1, x minus 1, didn't bring my eraser. So x minus 1 squared, and then minus 1, so minus 9 equals 0. There's a vertex form. I'll come back and solve it on another video. So the second one I want to make into vertex form is this equation here. Again, I'm just going to rewrite my equation with my m squared minus 8m. I'm going to leave a blank. I'm going to add a number because I'm allowed to in math. Add my 5 equals 0 plus a number. What I do to one side, I do to the other. So I take half of 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4, and I square that number. So that number is 16. So I have m squared minus 8n plus 16, all in parentheses, a 5 on the outside. What I did, I have to add 16 over here, and there I have that. Next, I made that completing the square so I can factor it like this. I take one of my m's, my sign, and I take my number 4 that I just found over here in b, or square root of 16, which is 4. Square that quantity and bring down the rest of your equation. Finally, to get it in vertex form, this needs to be 0, so I would minus 16 from both sides. So m minus 4 squared, and I can't think, so 5 minus 16 is negative 11 equals 0. So there's my vertex form. The next video will show you how to solve these two equations by completing the square.